Hey guys, so there is now a forensic report that has been released on the Tuttle shooting, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. I can't give you all the details because not all the details are being released, but the lawyers hired an independent investigator that specializes in ballistics to review the evidence at the Tuttle residence. And so I'm going to read some of the stuff that has come out of that. According to the forensic experts, their belief is that the officers that were wounded by friendly fire. Um, it does not appear to these experts that the Tuttles fired one single shot. Now, they don't have access to the firearm that Mr. Tuttle had if he had a firearm. It's being suggested now that the firearm that was recovered may have been a throwdown. HPD has a history of throwing down weapons at crime scenes. It's not the first time, it's not even the second time or the third time that this has occurred and they've been caught. The police said that they kicked down the door and that they were forced to shoot the couple's dog that rushed them, and that at that point Tuttle grabbed his .357 Magnum revolver and opened fire on the officers. According to the police, Miss Nichols, Tuttle's wife, rushed an officer and tried to disarm him and was shot and killed. The forensic experts say there is no evidence to support any of that. The forensic experts go on to point out that, in truth, it does not even look like the forensics team that the county sent in there and the HPD put in there did much work. There were mountains, this is the word that they're using, mountains of evidence left behind at the crime scene. And I'm going to give you a quote here from one of the attorneys in an email that he sent me. He says, "It does not appear that they took the basic steps to confirm and collect the physical evidence to know whether police were telling the truth." That is from attorney Mike Doyle, and he's representing the Nicholas side of the family. And that is the whole point of a forensic scene documentation. It's basically to secure the facts of the crime scene so that people know that what's being said can be refuted or confirmed. The independent forensic investigator had access to the home for 4 days. I'll tell you, his name is Mike Maloney. He's a retired supervisory special agent with the Naval Criminal Investigative Service. I'll get this right. Hey, it's late. And I'll tell you, his findings are nothing short of a bombshell. A lot of it confirms what I've been saying all along. The police came in and said that they started shooting because the dog rushed them. Maloney's forensics team found that the dog was shot and killed at the edge of the dining room, which is 15 feet from the front door, which is, again, confirms what I said all along. I did note when I was in there, it was a quick run through the house and out. I didn't want to disturb the scene and get involved in, any more than just to do a quick documentation of the house and look and see what appeared to be what when I was there. All my footage has been surrendered to the attorneys involved, and along with a sworn statement from me specifying what I saw. But there were shotgun shells. I didn't see them at first, but the forensics guys located shotgun shells where the dog had been killed, and they collected that as evidence. They found no evidence of bullets, outbound bullets, that would be from Tuttle firing outbound. Okay, I saw what I believe to have been large caliber holes that were exit wounds. I'm not an expert, but it appeared to be two exit rounds at the doorway. However, the crime scene people had been digging in the holes and all that, so it's difficult to tell. The expert says no, that those are not exit rounds. Says the initial bullet trajectories appear to be somewhat contradictory. They see no evidence that anybody inside the house was firing towards the door. Bullet holes through the front of the house that police claim came from the inside were actually fired from outside the home at least a foot away and into the house, according to the forensics team. Okay? You can't see into the house from where these bullets were fired. This is, again, something I pointed out in my videos. They were firing blindly into walls, just randomly shooting into walls, which is a recipe for disaster. Okay? Very easy to subject other officers to friendly fire when you're just randomly shooting. The police narrative in this has been a lie from the start. And the holes in the story were there from the very start. So, honestly, it appears that when the police kicked in the door and began shooting, the officers outside the home began firing into the home as well. Shooting both officers and the couple in the process. When these other officers are getting hit by bullets, they don't know what direction they're coming from, and so they respond by shooting the non-cops. Okay? All the rounds that were recovered by the forensics team, all the holes that they examined were one of two calibers. They were either 5.56, which is what you get out of an AR, or .45 auto, which is a very popular round within the Houston Police Department. They found zero .38 caliber, which is what a .357 Magnum is. They found zero .38 caliber holes anywhere. Zero. So even if Tuttle had a gun, was it fired? Unless the bullet was lodged in an officer, when they pulled him out of there, there's no evidence that Tuttle ever got off a shot, if indeed he was armed. Now, at this point, I'm starting to have my doubts about that. I'm thinking throwdown. That's really what I'm thinking. The forensics team noted that the amount of evidence left behind by police was overwhelming, which means there was no way they could actually have conducted a thorough enough investigation to determine if the officers are telling the truth. And even former police chief Charles McClellan has commented on this matter, and he says that he would be asking questions. He says there's too many holes in this story. Everybody is referring to the forensics investigation conducted by the county as being, at the very least, sloppy, and at the worst, a cover-up. You have to wonder, over the years, how many people have been convicted from these sloppy investigations where evidence was collected or not collected that would have cleared them. We're talking about homicide cases. It's pretty crazy. That is it for this quick update. I hope you guys find this information useful, and I'll bring you more Tuttle information as it becomes available. Y'all be safe, and I'll see you again soon.